It is morning in America and it is morning in Los Angeles, or morning in Los Angeles and morning in America. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my morning political thought. All right, for housekeeping, as you already know, housekeeping is the social media stuff and then the side news stories. Social media stuff, thepurpleelephantshow.com is the main podcasting platform. You can go there and listen to all of the podcasting episodes of The Purple Elephant Show. Also, The Purple Elephant Show on Parler, so we can parlay, on Instagram and on Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show. You can swing by the page, give a like. On Twitter, you can do @RealTPES if you're watching this on YouTube, or Daily Motion, or BitChute. Shout out to BitChute. You guys have been wonderful. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. That way you will know when I upload new videos to the channel. There's a lot of things, side news-wise, that is happening right now. First thing is, and it literally just happened, Mitt Romney just gave his, I guess you could say, it's been confirmed that Mitt Romney has said that he will vote for whoever the nominee is. He's given his approval. So, and also the weird thing was, I was planning on doing a side news thing on Mitt Romney anyway, because one of the top lobbyist firms in Washington is saying that if Joe Biden wins, it's a possibility that Mitt Romney will be in the cabinet. So, it's a top lobbying firm. The source is the Washington Times. Washington Times is pretty reliable source. But again, this is a top lobbying firm speculating. They're not saying that it's a definite. They're just saying, okay, it seems like this will more than likely be the case. But that's if Joe Biden wins. But if you have been following the show, you know I have had a premonition about the election. And in my premonition, the president wins. But as I said in my premonition, he will win for a reason that he doesn't even know. So, yeah, that you can check that out. It's I think the title of the episode is the 2020 election premonition or something like that. All right. Other things that are going on. The CBO is saying that the United States is spending too much money. For those who don't know what the CBO is, it is the Congressional Budget Office. They are saying that by 2050, we're going to be really, really out of luck. Long story short. And we need to slow down on the spending. Personally, I used to worry about spending until I watched how finance and other things work in the banking industry and in the world economy. And now I don't worry about it as much anymore. The United States will figure out a way to finagle this. And truth be known, if something were to go wrong related to spending and debt, I would rather it go wrong right now under President Trump's watch, because he's restructured debt before. That is one of his specialties. That is something he really knows how to deal with. And for those who may not remember, there was a rumor or whatever floated before when President Trump was first coming into office, when he was asking about the United States restructuring the debt. And people are like, oh my God, you can't do that. That's crazy. That'll destroy our credit rating, which, by the way, our credit rating went down under President Obama. So it's kind of, whatever. But that's one thing he asked about, because he knows how to restructure debt. He deals with bankers and stuff all the time. So if something were to go sideways, I would rather it happen during the Trump administration, not during some other administration with somebody else who more than likely doesn't know anything about finance. And they'll just take whatever is told to them and then just be like, oh, let's do this. Sort of like the Affordable Care Act. All right. There was another thing I wanted to point out, and I have to pull it up because I don't want to call the name wrong. So, and it's in regards to Gavin Newsom. I have my laptop to the right. I mean, that's why I'm looking to my right now, or maybe to your left, depending on how you're seeing this on the screen. Okay, I had to look at what the act was called. All right. The Gavin Newsom is trying to have it both ways. Everyone knows that California is on fire. I thought that it was several acres, as in thousands and thousands of acres that were burned in California. It's over 3 million acres that were burned. I didn't even know California had 3 million acres. But anyways, with what was happening, Gavin Newsom is trying to have it both ways. He was saying that where some of this stuff is happening on federal land. So the federal government needs to be responsible for helping out. But the federal government was in the process of handling forest management. The president, which President Trump has cut more regulation than any other president in history, period, in any other president. And one of the things he was cutting regulation on, and I have to look at it again, it was the National Environmental Policy Act. And that was for modernization. And he was cutting down the regulation to allow people for their federal projects to do what they need to do sooner. And one of those things that they need to do sooner was forest management. Well, guess who sued the president's administration when he was trying to cut the regulation? California. Not only did California sue, also, I'm pretty sure it was about 20 other states that had sued along with California to block President Trump on cutting the regulation to manage and move projects if I can talk this morning, I'm trying to go fast, to move projects along on federal land. So first Gavin Newsom is like, oh, well, some of these fires are happening on federal land. You should really do something. But then on the other end, when President Trump had cut the regulation to speed along the process of forest management as one of the things, forest management was a byproduct of part of the regulation he's trying to cut. It also affects other things too, but forest management is one of the things. So on the forest management side, it's like, well, we're going to block you from doing this. Make it make sense. So that's what happened with that. I've already told you about Romney, the CBO. Now, let me go ahead and get to the short list, which I thought was interesting with the highlights. All right. Career highlights of the Supreme Court justices. And like I said before, yesterday, I'll be really shocked, very, very shocked, if President Trump picks Barbara LaGoya. But yeah, she's still on the short list according to everybody. Some people are saying it's 4 people on the short list, but I had heard 5. So first person on the short list, the one that we've all been hearing about and met with the president yesterday, which was one of the reasons why he was late to the rally or peaceful protest, as it's being called for political reasons. But Judge Amy Coney Barrett, 48, and her career highlights are she clerked for Justice Antonin Scalia after she graduated from law school. She taught at Notre Dame Law School, her alma mater, before joining the federal bench. Her faith became a sticking point during her confirmation hearing in 2017 when Democrats questioned her ability to separate the church's pro-life teachings from her judicial responsibilities. The Senate confirmed her in the 7th Circuit by a vote of 55 to 43. She made Mr. Trump's nomination shortlist in 2018 after the retirement of Justice Anthony Kennedy. The next person, Judge Barbara LaGoya. Career highlights. And by the way, Barbara LaGoya is 52 years old. Career highlights. She worked as a pro bono attorney for Elian Gonzalez's family in an international custody and immigration battle in 2000 after the U.S. returned the boy to Cuba. She was assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida from 2003 to 2006. She was appointed to Florida's 3rd District Court of Appeals by Governor Jeb Bush in 2006. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. Anything that even has Jeb Bush's hands on it, I say stay away from it. All right. And also, she became the first Hispanic woman to serve on the Florida Supreme Court after her appointment in early 2019 by Governor Ron DeSantis. And Mr. Trump nominated her for the 11th Circuit later in 2019. The Senate confirmed her in November of 2019 by an 80-15 vote. That's another red flag for me. This was in 2019. If she was confirmed in, let's say 2012 or whatever, which it was still partisan then, but nowhere near as partisan as it's been in 2019. She was confirmed by the Senate with an 80-15 vote. That right there is another red flag. Some people might be like, oh, well, no, Casey, that's good. She received most of the votes. That's the problem. A lot of Democrats confirmed her. That's the problem. So I just want to throw that out there. And see, I didn't know that. I'm learning this now because I haven't read the career highlights. I'm reading them for you right now. All right. So on to the next person, Judge Joan Larson, who I have never heard of. She's a graduate of Northwestern University School of Law. Home state also Michigan. Career highlights. She clerked for Judge David B. Sentel at the U.S. Court of Appeals for District of Columbia Circuit. She clerked for Justice Antonin Scalia at the Supreme Court. She was a Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel in 2002 and 2003. She was a professor at the University of Michigan Law School. She was an Associate Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court from 2015 to 2017. In the 2016 Michigan Supreme Court case of Green Party presidential nominee Jill Stein seeking an election recount, Judge Larson recused herself, citing her inclusion on Mr. Trump's list of potential Supreme Court nominees. Okay, integrity. I like that. Let's see what else we got. Mr. Trump nominated her to the 6th Circuit in 2017. The Senate confirmed her for the 6th Circuit by 60-80. You see the difference with how the Senate confirmed her on that? So she was nominated in 2017. The Senate confirmed her with 60-80. Now let me go back to Barbara LaGoya real quick. Barbara LaGoya was confirmed in 2019 with 80-15. Now, do you see why I have all these red flags up on Barbara LaGoya? For all of these people screaming, Barbara LaGoya, trust my intuition. I am right more times than I am wrong. No. I don't trust it. All right. So, next person. Judge Allison Jones Rushing, age 38. She's young. Really young. All right. Duke University. Oh, she went to my brother's school. Current job judge on 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Career highlights. She clerked for Justice Clarence Thomas. Oh, that's a plus. She clerked for Justice Neil M. Gorsuch when she was on the 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. She has ties to Alliance Defending Freedom, a conservative religious liberty law firm where she interned and spoke at events as recently as 2017. Her association with ADF invites criticism from LGBTQ advocates. The group brought high-profile cases to the Supreme Court, including the representation of a Christian baker who refused to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding. Look, I'm part of the LGBT community. If you don't know, now you do. I don't care about cakes. If somebody doesn't want to bake a cake, then they don't have to bake a damn cake. Go get it somewhere else. I've never cared about that. And then her other career highlight, the Senate confirmed her for the Fourth Circuit, 53 to 44. Another example. See how close that was? The Senate confirmed her 53 to 44, not 80 something to 15. So, like I said, I'm hung up on this Barbara LaGoya because I'm tired of people talking about her. All right. And then the other person on the short list, Kate Todd. It doesn't, where's her age at? It doesn't say Kate Todd's age on here. Interesting. Okay. Career highlights. She served as senior vice president and chief counselor for the U.S. Chamber Litigation Center. She was a partner at the law firm of Wiley, Rain, and Felding. She clerked for Justice Clarence Thomas. Oh, another Clarence Thomas at the Supreme Court. All right, that's cool. She worked as an adjunct law professor at Cornell University in Washington and the George Washington University Law School. All right, and those are her career highlights, which is kind of short. Honestly, the one that's really standing out to me is the Judge Allison Jones Rushing. I don't know why. She's standing out. Let me do something. I'm literally doing this while I'm recording. Let me do something. Youngest youngest person. Let me do youngest person appointed to the Supreme Court. Because I'm just curious. The youngest Chief Justice appointed, John Jay, was 44 years old. Huh. What's the young? Okay, so it's saying youngest Chief Justice appointed, John Jay at 44 years old. I don't... And that's at supremecourt.gov. All right. Do we have a youngest person? Youngest Chief Justice appointed, the oldest Chief Justice. What's the longest serving justice? What's the longest term? What's the average length of justices? Just so you know, if you go to supremecourt.gov, you can pull up some of the frequently asked questions about the justices. I'm also learning something new, like how many justices have there been? What is the average length of the justice's tenure? Who was the longest serving justice? Which I'm actually curious about that right now. Who was the longest the longest serving Chief Justice was Chief Justice John Marshall. Oh, who served 34 years, 5 months, and 11 days. All right, interesting. So the youngest Chief Justice appointed was 44 years old. I have a feeling that this 38 years old, she will be the youngest appointed to the Supreme Court. If I'm not mistaken. And I want to confirm that. I'm sitting here looking while I'm talking. Actually, no, she won't. Appointed at 32 years old. Who was the youngest person appointed to the Supreme? The justice had the unique honor of being portrayed as retired justice. So someone was appointed at 32 years old. Okay, scratch that. I was thinking it would be the person that was mentioned, this Judge Allison Jones Rushing. But 32, it amazes me, 32 years old for someone, not Judge Allison Jones Rushing, but 32 years old was the youngest appointed to the Supreme Court. You can be 32 to be appointed to the Supreme Court, which is an equal branch of government, but I guess also you can be younger to run in Congress too. That's interesting. And that actually would be, I'm thinking out loud here. Okay, let me tell you what's going through my brain. For those who don't know, my brain goes, just thoughts go really, really fast. I'm thinking out loud. That would be a good argument to say, they say all the branches are equal, but the age limit for president of the United States is greater than the age limit to be in Congress or to be on the Supreme Court. So if all branches are considered equal, why is the age limit for president higher? Clearly, there's something more required to be the head of the executive branch, which would think the executive branch would not be equal to the legislative branch or the judicial branch. That's what just went through my head. That's the legal argument that just went through my head. Because if someone was appointed at the Supreme Court, the youngest at 32, and then in Congress, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it's less than the age for president. I know that for a fact. Because if it wasn't, Ocasio-Cortez would have been on running during this past election. She's not old enough to run yet. So, and I'm pretty sure the age for president required is 35 off the top of my head. So if the age required for president is higher, but then the judicial branch and the legislative branch, how are they equal? Obviously, for the executive branch, you're looking for more experience. I just thought about that today, and that is a good legal argument too, as well. All right, that's all I have for my morning political thought. You got a little bit extra than I was planning on giving, but yeah, you got it. All right, thepurpleelephantshow.com. Thank you everyone for all of your support. I really appreciate it. I have to get on with my day. My days are very long. It's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Until next time, be blessed.